Hey everyone, welcome back to part 2. If you missed part 1, I'll put the link in the description below. Something's really weird going on. We've got like this electric storm going on. There's no rain or any, like it's just the lightning. It's really strange. And I think it's affecting our power because every time that happens, it surges. So we're going to try and hopefully that's going to work. And then we'll just have to see what happens after that. So if you were here for part 1, welcome back. I see you all joining back in again. So yes, so make sure you hit subscribe, ring the bell, thumbs up, all that kind of stuff. I'm hoping third time's the charm, Sandy. Absolutely. So this is where I got to, was we stamped out our vine piece here with kaleidoscope powder in part 1. And then I did the embossing powder and I just heat set it. And look how gorgeous that looks. As a card front, that is absolutely perfect. And I love it. Like you would never know that that's supposed to be a wedding stamp set. You know, kind of creates this really cool idea. So now we're going to try, let's do a little bit of stenciling first. So I'm going to take my wreath here and I'm going to do mainly fresh prints. I'm going to put a splash of Cotswold in maybe. And then we'll stamp one of these in the middle just for some fun. And then I'm going to turn this and I'm going to do it again this way. And I'm pretty much going to use just the ink that's already on my stencil because it will give me all those natural variations. You can kind of see, creates the perfect wreath that way. And if you want to, you could offset and add more. You could even do like one kind of halfway like that too, just to kind of create a little bit of texture. So you can do all kinds of fun things, but you can create it as an open or a closed wreath. And this is the Wreath Builder stencil. Lisa's fixed the bundle for you as well. And there was something else she just told me she did. I can't remember what it was. Now I'm going to add some berries. So I think we'll do our berries. Maybe some shells. No, shell suit should be our thing. Flowers, maybe. We'll do some light pink. Actually, no. We're going to do shell suit berries because I decided that for some reason I really want shell suit berries in my life. And I'm just going to start on the side because the shell suit one I know is super juicy and it's a really rich color and I don't want it too dark. So I now have some cute berries in the background. And then I'm going to take my wreath here. And there are score lines actually on the stencil, so you can line it up perfectly. I'm going to take some bubble gum and do that. And so this could be an Easter wreath, a spring wreath. You know, you could do all sorts of cool stuff on here as well. It doesn't just have to be that. You could turn it into for the holidays. You could do it for fall. You know, you could do all of that kind of stuff. And then let's take our stamp again. And this time I'm going to put in the middle happily ever after. And before the chaos ensued, I had my Misty here. And oh, it's right underneath me. Apparently I'm not even looking. So I'm going to use this happily ever after. Like this. Like this. I'm going to use some Remarkable on here. So I might need a re-ink. It does. So I'm going to just, because my ink pad needs re-inking, I'm just going to stamp it twice. So there's my first stamp. Not sure how good of a job I've done. Let's see. My ink pad is super dry, but I don't think I have another black on my desk. Maybe it's fall. Here we go. I have one right here. So they are all re-inkable. There we go. So there's my happily ever after. So there's our second card. So we've done a thank you card. We've got a happily ever after using the wreath. Okay. I can make a ton of different ideas with this stamp set, but I wanted to share with you a couple tonight. Usually try and do 4 cards. So we've done a quick and easy. We've done a switch up. And oh, you should come here, Lisa. Like, you'll see endless storms. Like, we're now at the point, I think, pretty much soon it'll be rain every single afternoon. So I'm going to use I have a piece of white cardstock here. And cut this to a card base even. And then I'm going to cut this to the size of the card front. I also want a piece of vellum. I'm going to cut that to the size of the card front. So it'll be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So the first thing I want to do is stamp it on my vellum. And I'm going to do this with, I'm trying to think what color I want it to be. I think I'm going to do it with the copper. This is Moscow Mule. This is our copper. Ink this up. Hey, Lynn in New Zealand. What time is it there? And we're going to smush. Now, I didn't stick my vellum down, so it's likely to move. So I'm going to make sure, give it a really good push here. Looks like I got a pretty good impression. There's a little bit here. I think I've wrecked my Misty mat because this is the bit that never stamps out properly. So anyway, I'm going to do that. I'm going to use my insert because it's the perfect scrap paper for heat embossing. And we're going to use some Moscow Mule. Thanks, Lisa. This one I've had for a while, but this was a gift recently. Don't read anything into the finger it's on. It's just on there because this one I would wear on my left finger, but it really hurts. For some reason, it only works on my right hand. So if anyone asks me, I'm not engaged. But somebody very nice bought it for me. So I'm just giving it a light tap. And now we're going to heat this. Now, hopefully that's not going to be too much power going through the house right now because that seems to be an issue. And where's my heat gun on? I dropped everything because of everything going wrong. But the other thing is, because there is some glitter in here and I'm working on vellum, we're going to heat it from the bottom first. Okay. I'm heating it from underneath. And then I go to the top just to completely heat it. But what it will do is stop lots of that glitter flying off. And also with vellum, it stops a lot of the warping. So I kind of keep alternating between top and bottom. The other thing with vellum is you'll notice, you see how it goes dark when it's cooked? So then it's really easy to know where you've been and where you haven't been. Okay. So there's our beautiful wedding arch. I don't use anti-static powder. Our powders have a lot of stuff in. I'm trying to get Maddie to bring me something that I need for this card. So there's our piece right here. In the meantime, we have our card base. We have, I actually think I might do our traditional layers, but just do it a little bit differently. Yeah, we're going to do it like that. I need a full piece. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use a piece of, I think this is called sugar plum, Scottish thistle, sugar plum, something like that. And I'm going to make it 5.5 by 4.25. So 5. 4.25. So this is my piece to go behind like that. You see how this is starting to come together. And then I'm going to take a piece of white. We're going to make this 4 inches by 5.25. So. And then we need a piece of, let's lay this together. Use tape. Yes. By Kim's desk is the blue scoreboard. It's like where she sits to the right, you know, the score buddy thing. I'm going to use some thin double-sided tape. This one is like super, super thin. And we're going to use some Maker's Magic lotion. Now, the reason I'm using liquid is because I want some all over. You'll see why in a minute. Thanks, babe. Love you. So I'm going to stick this down. I'm going to take this. This is a brand new one. I'm just going to put a line of thin tape right at the top. I want it to be fairly straight because you may see it. If we do, we're going to cover it up. I'm going to show you a little trick. Stick this down at the top here. Make a little leaf. So, see how this is coming together. Here is my card base. So this is 5.5 by 8.5 inches. So 8.5, 4 1/4. So we're going to go to 2 1/8 and score. 2 1/8 and score. Okay. So that creates our gatefold card like this. Now I'm going to take my piece like so. Don't hold your breath, but I'm going to cut it in half. So again, 2 1/8. 2 1/8, 2 1/8. Like so. And again, I'm going to use liquid glue because that's why I use liquid, because I wanted the all over adhesive. So I'm opening this up. Just a little bit dirty. It'll clean it. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. Worst case, we stick another card panel on the back. Absolutely fine. So here's our gatefold. Another great thing about the liquid is it just gives us that little bit of wiggle room if we need to move it. But you see now I have a gatefold, and then what I would make is a belly band. I don't know if I have any full sheets in here to make one. Let's see. I'm going to make a belly band quickly to show you. So for the belly band, we're going to score it. So you've got 4 1/4. Double that is 8.5. Thinking of my dimensions, 8.5. So if it would only be 2 1/8. So we're going to score this at 2.5. Okay. Use my big one. So my engineering degree comes in. So we're going 2.5. So that'd be 6.5. And then 6 3/4. Okay. And then 6, 1, 2, plus another half. And now we're going to do it at 9 1/4. Okay. Of course, you can go back and watch this video as many times as you want to get those dimensions. I'm actually going to cut on this line right here. I was just doing it to mark where it needed to be cut. And I also want to cut this down because it's way too thick. I want it to be like maybe 1.5 inches, maybe. And now once we're all done, you're going to have a belly band that slides all the way over it like this, you see. This goes on. And then you have a belly band. You can stamp your sentiment across here, and then it just slides on and off, and you see you've already got the overlap. See? So that's our next card. So that was how to do a gate card. So yeah, you can watch this again and again, Sherry, don't worry. Just score it at those appropriate points. It'll go over like this, and then you have a belly band. And I would stamp something like the stamp I picked out that I thought would go really well. Might be too big, let's see. I need to make it a little bit wider, but I would put like this together. Here, I'll just put it at the top so you can see. If you made it a smidgen bigger, you could have that together on there. You could have happy birthday. You could have happy Mother's Day. There's love. We have one that says love on it. All those kinds of things. And you could do that just like that. So there is another idea using that same stamp set. I do actually have 2 more ideas, if you'll all bear with me to get through those. So what I wanted to do is a super simple one that will be really, really effective. So we'll actually do 5 card ideas tonight, assuming I have some alcohol on my desk. So this piece I'm cutting down to 5 inches by 3 3/4. And I need actually another piece the same size, so I'm just going to do 2 while I'm here. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 quick ideas. One, I'm going to take this beautiful Deco Leaves background, and I'm going to stencil it with a darker ink. I think I'm going to use Shell Suit because it's a really nice one. I'm doing this on Heavenly Skies paper. So you see now I've stenciled on it, but you still see that pearlescence and that shininess, which I think is really pretty. So we need that for one of our backgrounds. And I'm going to cut that down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. This one will look beautiful foiled and all kinds of different things. Oh, we have some, Lisa, because I literally just went and picked this up out the garage. So I know that we have some Heavenly Skies out there. So there's that one. And then I'm going to take this beautiful gatefold we had. And I'm just using half of it, as you can see. Maybe put 10 in, Lisa. I couldn't tell you a number, obviously, sitting here, but there was a few. There was definitely a fair amount in there. If you ask him, I won't give you an exact one, but if you want to for tonight, just put 10. So I'm going to just stamp this down. And it's in my little problem child zone, so I'm giving it a little bit of oomph. I'm going to do a little bit of CPR on it. And I'm going to use some kaleidoscope powder because you can use kaleidoscope on vellum. I'm going to use sunspots just because it happens to be sitting right here. I actually going to 2 baby showers in the next 2 weeks and realized we don't have any baby shower stamps. So be prepared. They will be incoming because I had nothing to make cards with. I rustled something up, but okay. So you see, it's just light, but light enough, I think, that it creates something really pretty in there. I actually wondered, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm just going to try something quickly. So I'm putting the stamp in. And I'm going to ink the stamp. Literally just from here, just this draped curtain. That's also the only bit I'm going to press down. Kind of holding the bottom of the stamp up a little bit too. It's just an idea. I saw it, like it was something I saw rather than planned. I'm just going to add powder there. And I'm going to do my powder going this way. Oh, I love that. So it looks like the 2 curtains intertwine by stamping it in 2 halves, which was kind of what I was hoping for as I saw that idea, but I wasn't sure. Okay. And then I thought we can layer this on here, like so. So you see, you're going to see that come through. And then it's going to go on some black, like that. See how this is coming together? And then looking for the perfect sentiment that I want to use. We're just going to go really simple. This one says Mr. and Mrs. We're going to do it with the Moscow Mule, just to give it that little bit of extra depth. You could also do black and put clear over it. If you're stamping with vellum, I always like to put clear over the top. I find it just make sure that nothing's going to smudge or anything like that, because it is a little bit non-porous. I'm going to show you my final card, how non-porous vellum can be for you. Now where I did that double stamping, it's picked up a little bit of embossing powder. So I'm just using my rainbow brush to make sure it's nice and clean. Again, I'm going to go from underneath. And then I'm going to get this piece and this piece. And there you go. You can see there is another absolutely beautiful card. And those arches and everything all just fit together perfectly. So you get that. There you go. You can see it just from the side. So it looks like the two curtains are interlocking, which you can see on there. And then they kind of come down into one piece. You've got the Mr. and Mrs. You can see the Art Deco through it as well. So lots and lots of ideas that you can kind of interlink in there together too. So all of that. And Lisa's dropping links for you as well. Lisa, could you just drop the link to this collection again? And also the stamp set I'm using, the Happily Ever After for everyone. Pleases and thank yous. That was called Moscow Mule. Kerry, that stamp set. The embossing powder rather was called Moscow Mule. You can see how perfectly it all pairs on there. Now for our final card, I'm going to do something fun. So make sure I got some alcohol here. I think this is. No, that's not alcohol. That is water. I don't know if I've got any. Smell. I have some right here. Okay. So I'm going to grab out a couple of colors here. I'm going to use this as some. I'm going to use my packaging bag as my scrap. Yeah, this is the bag from my vellum. And I'm going to use some pink, some other pink, some light blue. Okay. And we're going to, what's this one right here? All right, so I'm going to fill this with some alcohol just to the side. So 1 second. Aha. I found an empty one and some isopropyl alcohol. So you can spray isopropyl alcohol. You cannot spray blending solution. Just FYI, do not spray blending solution. You can spray isopropyl alcohol. This is 99%. This is lab grade that I get. And I just find it works the best. But you can, use whatever you've got to hand. So I'm actually going to put quite a lot down. And then I'm just going to add a couple of colors. This one's Purple Twilight. This one is Raspberry. Because I want it to be an all-over background. I'm actually going to make the colors all run together in a second. And this is Aqua. And you can use a blower, you can use all sorts of things, but I actually just want to make a background. I'm going to add a little bit more. So vellum works really well with alcohol ink. I'm actually going to give it a little helping hand, my heat gun. Now just be careful because it is obviously flammable, but as long as you work quick and you're not too aggressive, you get some super cool effects. We're just going to move this to the side. And give this a really good dry now. So alcohol ink has a special resin in it, and sometimes it doesn't all set. So I'm just going to make sure that everything is dry before I do the next step by grabbing some foil and just putting it over the top, because if there's anything that's not dry and there's extra resin sitting there, it will pick up some foil, which will just add some extra veining. I think this is all pretty much dry, but I just wanted to make sure because I see some thicker areas. That one's good. So look how cool that looks as a background. Super quick, super easy. So you can use alcohol inks on vellum. You can also use your re-inkers with alcohol ink, the ones you make. You can do that too. But I just wanted to show you another quick and easy idea. I love quick and easy ideas because usually when I need a card, I need it right this second. And I don't have time to go like mess around. So a lot of mine are quick and easy ideas. Make sure that's in that corner. Take out smusher. I'm going to do it once more. Down. Use some scrap paper here again. And this time I'm going to use some moon dust embossing powder. So you can see effect in there. Put this back. I see one little bit that needs a cleanup. So I'm going to use that detailed tip of my dual tipped brush right here. Links to everything, if you're not watching this live, are in the description below. And Lisa's been dropping the links as we go along. Okay. I mean, look how gorgeous this is. And then I'm going to take my embossing down again. Heat it from underneath because there's glitter in it. And it's going to go from dull to dark as it sticks. I'm just going to see if I can do it so you can see it. It's kind of hard to see on camera. So by doing it from underneath, first of all, it makes sure the glitter doesn't blow away. Second, that doesn't warp as much from heat embossing. So look how beautiful that is. Like that. And then you could take, for instance, together. Let's grab our Misty back. Oh, I really do, Woody. She said, I bet you have glitter everywhere. Yes, I'm a walking glitter bomb. Let me just tell you. People come in this house, like Maddie has her friends over, like, you know, guy friends from school and stuff. And they're all like, excuse me, Mrs. Stapleton, what do you do here? Because there's glitter everywhere. Or there's clay slices, or I don't know, something. There's always something. So I'm going to take together and I have clear embossing powder, so I'm going to use my Remarkable. I'm going to do it once more. Now, of course, you could also use black embossing powder if you wanted to. I just like the way clear looks. Again, paper, clear. And even though it doesn't have glitter in it, I'm still going to do it from underneath. Because it's going to help stop some of that warping. And then we can take a piece of black or a piece of white. If I add white underneath, it's going to give it a different tone. You see, it lightens everything up just a little bit. So I probably would keep that white. So, and that's from the Thanks and Gather stamp set. So it has the Together, the Thanks we used earlier. So just kind of throwing everything together so that comes out like that. So we actually have 5 ideas tonight. We have the vellum background. We have another vellum with stenciling to show through. We did our gatefold with belly band. We did our wreath. And we did our thanks. So lots and lots of ideas in there. So if you enjoyed that, don't forget to hit subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up. Part 1 is also still on the channel too. So you can go check that out as to how we did the beginning of this thanks card. The Bubblicious stamp set is now available. Lisa's dropped the link. It's also in the link in the description below. So you can come do that as well. And that's what I'll be using next month for Lift Your Spirits. Stencils are in the store. Bundle is in the store. Everything has 25. The bundle has 25% off. The stamp has 20% off on its own, and yeah, everything's in there. So I will see you. I don't know if I'll see you probably at the weekend. Tilly is home, so I'm going to try and go live. More than that, also the one thing that I'm trying to do is get the craft room clean so that I can craft more. So we'll be able to do all that. Oh, sorry, 20% off the bundle. 25% off Bubblicious. Thank you, Lisa. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. I really appreciate you spending some of your evening with me. If you have any questions, you know how to get hold of us, and I will see you again very soon. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye.